When you first start really diving in and you start learning about the flat earth and Tartaria and all these things, it gets wild. Because you realize, like, wait a minute, all these stories that we're hearing, the buildings in the United States, we have buildings that were built in a half a year that would, just makes no sense, using sacred geometry and perfectly symmetrical and all these insane, art and just everything about these buildings. The structures themselves, just insane, huge, and they're built in no time at all. Right? When you really do research, you'll learn like the population sizes in the towns weren't even large enough to support a building that big. Like, just so many pieces of evidence that is kind of proves that we didn't build them. We found them here, which is why we founded them, and we didn't build them. I know that if I built one of these buildings, I would have said I built it right on the building, not I founded. The word founded doesn't sound like you built it. If I built a building like that, I would have been proud of it, and I would have put that I built it. Building built by, not founded. So it's just silly to me. Play on words. They do it to us all the time to confuse us and lie to us. Now, why do I bring this up? Because a lot of people that get into this stuff, the very first thing, one of the first things they're going to come to is that the millennial kingdom and Jesus was here for 1,000 years, and that's why we have buildings that are beautiful and all this amazing stuff. It's because Jesus has been here. He was already here for 1,000 years, and now he's gone. I believed that. I was there too, just like a lot of people. I really was. And I talked about it, and I thought that was the case. I watched a lot of documentaries. I read a bunch of books. And then I started realizing, no, that's not what's going on here at all. Because when you really get to the bottom of things, you realize the story of Jesus is also just another lie. What I believe is actually going on is we built all of these buildings during a period of time on this earth when we weren't being controlled over by psychopaths. There weren't psychopaths controlling us. Maybe we were under control of a different sort of leadership that gave us free energy and all this stuff. And the Rockefellers of the world wanted to exploit the people, so they flipped everything on its head somewhere between the 17 and 1800s. And that was a massive manipulation. It was done so that they could completely flip, rearrange history, start taking things out, putting things in, because it's like a blackout. They want to completely wipe history so that they can keep adding layers, and they can keep manipulating us however they want. All right, they have to write the narrative. They have to supply us with a narrative. So that narrative gets changed over the years. It's constantly getting flipped around and moved around. So I don't think that the reason we have these beautiful buildings is because Jesus was here for 1,000 years. It's just it's a fantastical story. I mean, it's you might as well think that the reason the buildings are here is because Beauty and the Beast lived here, and Beauty and the Beast and the dwarfs made the buildings, and it's ridiculous. I think the more accurate, probably the thing that makes more sense to me would be that there was peace on earth. We've gone through a Renaissance period. There was already a time on earth where people were more peaceful than violent. Now that's flipped. Now we have more violence, more hatred, more psychos than peace. I truly think we can raise the vibration. We can start to become more peaceful, more loving. That will supersede the evil powers in the world, and we'll start to see some change. And then maybe we'll start to build things for beauty again, instead of building them so they can be put up for 20 years and then ripped down when they want to rewrite the history. So again, I don't think it has to do with Jesus and any magical things. I think it has to do with just peace. People had peace. People had knowledge. People had information. There was a lot of stuff that we knew that we obviously don't know right now. And we're just starting to relearn those things. So my recommendation to anybody watching this is keep an open mind. I'm always open-minded to every idea. The fact that when people try and debate me and talk me back into believing in Jesus, that I'm done with that. That's completely ridiculous. I'm over it. It's not even, I'll talk about it, but it's not worth a conversation, because if you still feel that way, it's due to your lack of research, not my overabundance of. You understand? The more you know, the more you know. If you don't know what you don't know, and that's it, man. So if you think that, if you still die hard into your Christianity, I think you need to read a history book. I think you need to go to a library and really learn where Christianity came from, how it was forced on people, or they just chop your head off. And then you can realize, like, listen, if somebody was forcing my family to believe in something, and I witnessed all my cousins and aunts and uncles get their heads chopped off over it, there's a good chance when those people came knocking on my door, I'd be like, oh, Jesus, hell yeah, he's my boy. I'd already have a statue of him in my living room, because I would want to preserve the heads of my children and my wife. So you're damn right, I would follow the rules, because I don't want to get my head chopped off, and I don't want to see it happen to my kids. I don't understand why that's so hard to believe. It's just, that's the way it was. So families over time stopped teaching kids the actual truth at all, because I'm sure at first, when Christians started forcing their beliefs on other people and the Knights Templars were chopping people's heads off, I'm sure it got to the point where people were like, yeah, we believe in Jesus, don't worry. And then when they closed the doors in their house, they would still worship whoever they worshiped and do their thing. And the children would probably get tricked. They'd probably ask the kids in the street, hey, I know it's okay. I know you don't really believe in Jesus. You just say you do. It's okay. We do the same thing. Tell us the truth, though. So your parents and you guys still worship the old way, right? Yeah, well, my parents told me not to say anything, but yeah, I can trust you. Yeah. Okay. And then a day later, that person's at your house chopping your family's heads off. So they stopped teaching the children the truth altogether, most likely, in my opinion, because it was too dangerous. They just taught them the lie. And just like the Santa Claus, they taught them the lie, and just over years and years and years, we're talking this stuff happened 2,000 years ago. Over all these years, people forgot even what they were fighting for, and the lie soaked in. It took over like a cancer. It is what it is. You can set your mind free. You can have a high relationship, an amazing relationship with your higher power. You can have an amazing relationship with God, and it has nothing to do with Jesus. I'm closer to the Holy Spirit now than I ever was as a Catholic or a Christian. As a matter of fact, that was holding me back from having a real relationship with God, the Father. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to me that someone can believe in something without doing any research. They can believe in it just because they were told to, and then they read the Bible. It's like, dude, if I give you one book, if I only give you, I don't know, let's say Clifford the Big Red Dog, and that's the only book you have, because it's the only one I told you to read, and then I say, okay, here's your book. This is a true story now. This dog used to live. He lived thousands of years ago, and everyone worshipped him. He was the amazing Clifford the Big Red Dog. You would believe it, because that was the only information I was providing you with. It's called context. If you don't have all of it, you're not going to make a good informed decision. Get all the context, gather all of it, and then make a decision. Stop listening to liars that want your money. They want your money, they want your time, because time is money. Okay, they want your time, because if you're spending all of your time on their bullshit and their nonsense, you're not spending it fixing yourself. You're not spending it helping your family. You're not spending it loving yourself. You're not spending it doing anything productive. You're not spending it creating things. You're not spending it building things. You're not spending it learning about anything. You're just spending it in nothing. It's sad to me. It really is. The most tragic thing I see today is these hardcore Christians that just are diehard and spend all their time and giving their churches their paychecks. Meanwhile, their pastors are lying to them. Because I've had conversations with many of these pastors. They know the earth is flat, and they will not teach it in the church because of politics. That is a coward to me. If you believe in something and you're not going to talk about it in your church because of politics, you're a coward. You don't deserve my time. You don't deserve my money. You don't deserve my respect because you don't respect yourself enough to stick up for what you believe in. So why would I respect you? It's pretty simple. But, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist and I am widely deleted. I am erased, removed all over the internet. It is what it is. They don't want you to know what I teach. Because what I teach sets your mind free. It will save you. It will save you from spending a hell of money on all sorts of shit you don't need. It'll save you from reaching out towards the external world to help yourself internally. How the fuck does that make any sense? How do you help yourself internally by going out of yourself? That's not ever gonna work. It might mask your feelings and you might feel like you're okay, but it's just not helping you. And you'll realize that down the road. If you want to fix what's inside of yourself, you got to look inside, not outside. If you want to fix a swimming pool because it's leaking and you got to patch the pool, you have to go in the pool to do it. You can't do it from a mile away outside the pool in a store buying cell phones. You're not fixing the pool. You're over at the store. So how does that make any sense? If you want to fix the problem, you got to go to where the problem is. It's not rocket science, people. But, you know, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more, go to my website, become a member, please. It's a massive support to me who gets deleted all the time. I needed to do it. I get removed. I'm not allowed to make money on my videos. I have over 4,000 videos on Instagram. I get over 20 million views a month on Instagram, and I'm not allowed to make money on it. 20 million views. That is insane. I'm getting more views on my stupid Instagram channel than reruns of Friends, for fuck's sake, and I can't make a penny on it. Does anyone get how disgustingly corrupt that is? And it's because I'm bringing information to you that will be valuable to you. That's the only reason why. But again, my opinion. I love you all. Please support me. You are all amazing.